Would you raise your hand, please? Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the matter now pending shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you please state your full name?
I'm Jeffrey Edward Epstein, and my residence address is 6100 Red Hook Boulevard in Virgin Islands.
Have you ever been convicted of a crime?
Yes.
I was unaware that I was going to be alone with him. I thought I was going to die.
He started touching himself.
The sex crimes of millionaire financier Jeffrey Epstein are appalling. More than 100 vulnerable teenagers and young women trapped in his depraved web.
Contain the names of people associated with Jeffrey Epstein.
Prince Andrew and the former President Bill Clinton have been named.
More are expected to come out.
The president and the pedophile.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Billionaire Jeffrey Epstein.
We need to release the Epstein list.
I call it the Epstein hoax.
Have you ever had a personal relationship with Donald Trump?
What do you mean by personal relationships?
Have you socialized with him?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of females under the age of 18?
Though I'd like to answer that question, at least today, I'm going to have to assert my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment rights, sir.
Oversight Committee released new images and videos from a private island in the Caribbean once owned by Jeffrey Epstein. The new images show bedrooms, a room featuring what appears to be a dentist chair with masks on the walls, and a blackboard with words written on it, such as power and deception. Multiple videos captured the opulent grounds featuring a swimming pool, palm trees, and a winding path overlooking the ocean. One of the images shows a landline phone with the names Darren, Rich, Mike, Patrick, and Larry written on the speed dial buttons. A Democratic committee aide told CNN the committee redacted names of women from the images and videos out of an abundance of caution. Representative Robert Garcia said in a statement, quote, "These new images are a disturbing look into the world of Jeffrey Epstein and his island. We are releasing these photos and videos to ensure public transparency in our investigation and to help piece together the full picture of Epstein's horrific crime." The release comes after President Trump signed a bill directing the Justice Department to publicly release all Epstein-related records.
On my own island, I can think the thoughts I want to think. I can do the work I want to do. I can free to explore as I see fit.
Jeffrey Epstein's vast wealth gave him access to whatever he wanted. As we now know, the globe-trotting multimillionaire created a network where young women were supplied to him wherever he went.
I realize what I am. I'm very comfortable in my own skin. What I'm really free to do is I'm free to follow my own personality.
And with his own plane and plush properties all over the world, he felt free to abuse in the privacy of his various homes. Files linked to Jeffrey Epstein landed. They exposed the life obsessively documented. Like this video of the convicted paedophile dancing. The Epstein files contain videos of massages, private jets, and pools.
I've never seen so many beautiful girls.
A bizarre mix of more than 2,000 videos, 180,000 images, 3 million emails, texts, flight logs, all still being sifted through. Released by the US Department of Justice without context, some videos less than a second long. In this clip, Epstein chases women through a kitchen. Voices of unidentified girls can be heard. There's also this of Epstein, which appears to be filmed while he's in prison. He's secretly recording a video message for 2 women.
You can see I have a little sore on my face that I got from some black guy trying to kiss me. It's really disgusting.
Among the files, heavily redacted, sexually explicit videos. And it's not just Jeffrey Epstein's personal images. The files also contain videos captured by the US authorities. Here, Ghislaine Maxwell in 2016 being questioned over Virginia Giuffre's civil case.
Who were the other 17-year-old masseuses they were aware of?
I'm not aware of any.
Were there any 16-year-old masseuses you were aware of?
I'm not aware.
Any 15?
I just want to be clear. The only person that I'm aware of who claims to have been, and we have to, whilst I've established that I was 17, given that she has changed her age so many times.
And here she is in July 2020, a glimpse into her life inside her cell. She was waiting to hear whether or not she would be granted bail. And outside it, relaxed, making phone calls, some lasting more than 20 minutes, while facing charges of recruiting women and girls, including a 14-year-old. There is this footage from Epstein's Paris apartment. Pharrell Williams' happy place as a woman dances. A DNA paternity test can be seen on Epstein's desk, the same home where this now infamous photo of Peter Mandelson was taken. Which brings us neatly to here, Epstein outside the Louvre, with France's former culture minister, Jack Lang. Of course, we should say, appearing in the files doesn't imply any wrongdoing. The files show excess, hotel rooms, flash cars, selfies. In one clip, Candle in the Wind plays from his personal playlist on board what appears to be Epstein's private jet. Millions of files with little explanation. For survivors, the release reopens old wounds. While context is often missing, discomfort isn't. We definitely received substantial evidence that he was involved in trafficking young women and children to the Virgin Islands through our airport, through his private jet, and then he would, by helicopter or sometimes boat, would then transport them over to Little Sing Jail. Visible in aerial imagery. The center also houses a telecom tower and communications setup used to support high-speed connectivity, an expected requirement for a remote property hosting guests and staff. The island's infrastructure continued expanding through Epstein's term of ownership, which lasted until his death. By 2019, descriptions note the expansion of a sprawling complex of maintenance and support structures, storage, staff facilities, equipment, typically positioned slightly away from the main residential areas but connected by the internal road network. The island's most visually distinctive structures are an enormous sundial in the center, sometimes confused for a helipad on satellite images, and a blue-striped box-like building with surrounding square pavilion, nicknamed the Temple. The eerie, cenotaph-like structure sits at the southwest point of the island, completely isolated from the other buildings, but connected by the golf cart sequence of roads. Satellite imagery and spoken accounts describe it as having a golden dome added in the mid-2010s, later reportedly lost in Hurricane Maria. What the temple's actual use was has been disputed. As such, it's been the subject of major scrutiny, which suggested purposes ranging from a music room to the site of demonic cult rituals.
Mr. Epstein, how long have you been sexually attracted to underage minor females?
Objection, harassing, argumentative.
Are you kidding?
No, I mean, I don't feel like I'm divulging any secrets here, right?
Move to strike.
No, that's the question.
I'd like to answer that question as well. I'll get all your other questions today. However, I have to follow my attorney's advice. They have told me that I must invoke my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment right to not answer those questions today, or any questions relevant to this lawsuit.
What was the name of any of the underage minors that were the subject of the criminal charges to which you pled guilty?
I don't know.
So tell me about those charges. What was the allegations of those charges?
Form.
Solicitation of prostitution.
Okay.
Not underage prostitution, prostitution.
Were the victims or the prostitutes, as you would say, were they minors?
Form.
I pled guilty to solicitation of prostitution.
Okay, so tell me what those cases were about. What happened?
I have no more. I can't tell you any more than that.
You don't know what you pled guilty to?
I just told you.
I'm going to object to form. That's asked and answered.
Do you know what you pled guilty to? The facts.
Solicitation of prostitution.
I understand that's the charge. What were the underlying facts?
Sorry.
What'd you do? Did you pull up in a car, talk to the person? Did they come over to your house? How'd you get them? Those kind of things. Tell the jury what were the underlying facts about the charge that you pled guilty to?
Form. Move to strike.
I don't know.
You don't know what you pled guilty to?
I pled guilty to solicitation of prostitution. Not underage prostitution, but prostitution.
And just so the jury understands, these 3 females that were the subject of the guilty pleas in state court were procured by your method of having underage minor females locate other underage minor females and bring them to your house. Isn't that correct?
Objection, argumentative, compound, harassing, assumes facts not in evidence.
You'll have to
and I move to strike.
And I have to repeat the question.
Okay. Are all people that were, at the time you engaged in sexual activity with them, were underage and were brought by other underage minor females? Is that true?
Same objections incorporated. As well as the motion to strike.
I don't understand. I'm sorry, I don't even understand the question.
Isn't it true that you used underage minor females to bring other underage minor females to your house for sex?
Asked and answered. Way earlier on.
Oh, well, he doesn't understand the question, so I'm going through the progression.
Not a problem.
But it is asked and answered.
As your firm, Mr. Edwards and Mr. Jaffe, has been described by the U.S. Attorney as perpetrating one of the largest frauds in South Florida's history by crafting malicious cases of a sexual nature against people like me and others in order to fleece, using bogus schemes, in the U.S. Attorney's words, and investment schemes. Unfortunately, though, I'd like to answer every one of your questions, if I'm able. My attorneys have advised me I must assert my 6th Amendment, 14th Amendment, and 5th Amendment rights.
Newly released Justice Department files are reigniting one of the darkest scandals in modern history. According to documents published by the U.S. Department of Justice, newly surfaced videos allegedly showed Jeffrey Epstein receiving clips of young women performing semi-clothed model auditions, raising fresh concerns about how victims may have been recruited into his network. The footage, reported by multiple outlets including the New York Times, appears to show women posing in heels, lingerie, or partial clothing, walking toward cameras as if auditioning for modeling roles. While identities are heavily redacted, investigators believe the videos may support long-standing claims that Epstein used fake modeling opportunities as a lure. One of the earliest public accusations came from Alicia Arden, a model and aspiring actress, who told the New York Times that Epstein assaulted her in 1997 after claiming he was a Victoria's Secret talent scout. Arden said, quote, "His weapons were his hands," describing how she fled his hotel room in tears and later reported the incident to police. The new DOJ tranche also contains emails suggesting Epstein ordered hidden motion-activated cameras to be installed across his residences. In messages reviewed by Reuters, Epstein's pilot Larry Vasosky described installing cameras disguised in tissue boxes, calling them amazing how small they are, raising fears of covert surveillance inside Epstein's homes. Another redacted email warned that camera installations had to be handled discreetly and chillingly added that the Russians may come in handy. That line has fueled international speculation, with Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk publicly questioning whether Epstein may have gathered compromising material with intelligence implications. The Kremlin dismissed the theory, with spokesperson Dmitry Peskov telling Reuters he would rather not waste time on speculation. Still, the global dimension of Epstein's reach is impossible to ignore, as the audition tapes reportedly arrived from women across multiple countries. The files also revived scrutiny around French modeling agent Jean-Luc Brunel, who Virginia Giuffre accused in court filings of helping traffic teenage girls into the United States. Giuffre alleged Brunel supplied young women to Epstein and others, deepening claims of an organized recruitment pipeline masked as modeling work. Experts say the new material does not just revisit old crimes, it expands the picture of how Epstein allegedly maintained power. Hidden recordings, international recruitment, and carefully staged auditions suggest a system built on manipulation, secrecy, and fear, according to analysts speaking to U.S. media. While many identities remain protected, victim advocates say the files reinforce what survivors have said for decades, that Epstein's operation functioned in plain sight. The Justice Department release is now renewing calls for accountability, transparency, and further investigation into anyone connected to the network. Years after Epstein's death in a Manhattan jail cell while awaiting trial, the scandal refuses to fade. Each new document release adds layers to a case that continues to shake institutions, governments, and public trust worldwide, and survivors say the full truth may still be unfolding.